Are you ready?
I was born ready.
Hello, everybody. Welcome on into episode 21 of the Stocky and Alex Show, the podcast covering topics around the world, business, news, markets, money, sports. When people talk about it, Stocky and I talk about it. And then you guys can listen about it on YouTube and Spotify. Guys, make sure you're following the show everywhere on all socials, Twitter, Instagram, all the different places that you can follow the Stocky and Alex Show. What's up, dude? Should we bring that topic into the recording?
I mean, we can. I'm just watching Netflix. I mean, I bought the dip after hours, and I bought a ledge on a cliff, and it kept falling, and so now I'm just watching this stock and I'm like, come on, give me $10 a share back so I can fucking make some money or break even. But yeah, no, Alex, how you doing? How was your week?
Oh man, my week's amazing. My week since we've last hung out has been amazing.
You're wearing the same shirt you wore last podcast. I just noticed that.
Is this from last podcast or the podcast before that?
Yeah, we talked about it because remember I made the comment about if you turn the Bulls thing upside down, it's a robot reading a book.
Oh my God, this is the same shirt, but the Bulls played today. They got a playoff game today. So
do you not own more than one Bulls shirt?
I own 1, 2, 3 Bulls shirts, and I've worn the other 2, and this just got caught in the rotation. You know what I mean?
That's fine. It's fine. I'm not judging. It's just an observation. There's no need to get defensive.
There was no defense.
Not like I'm talking about do you sit or stand to pee. I mean, there's no reason to get defensive right now.
This is really more of kind of getting into the idiosyncrasies of all of our laundry rotations. Everyone knows how that falls. Sometimes the last
Wait till
shirt
you have
wore,
your kid. Your laundry rotation's about to change a lot.
Sometimes the last shirt you wore ends up being the first shirt you wear on the new rotation, and it kind of does. There has this perception.
This is the first time in 4 months I've worn this shirt. And the reason it says I didn't know what it was until somebody sent it and I put it on, but I was wearing this on stream about 3.5 months ago, and right afterwards I had to go to my dentist, and you forget the shirt you're wearing, and I was wearing it for the meme, and so I got done and I immediately went to the dental appointment, and people were looking at me and I just didn't realize I was wearing a shirt that said I love hentai as I walked into my fucking dentist. So that was the reason that I hid the shirt, but then I had to change out my closet and put all my shit in my wife's closet because the in-laws are here, and then I found it and I was like, I'll wear it again.
For those that remember from last podcast, Stocky's in-laws, we talked about this last time, Stocky's in-laws are with him at the house. So right now a lot of people rolling deep in that house right now.
I mean, it's nice. I mean, I feel bad. I feel like they feel a little forced to be here because of the culture thing, but it's nice having the family here. My wife enjoys it. My dad doesn't speak any, or my father-in-law doesn't speak any English, so I get to make a lot of sexual jokes towards my wife while we're talking in front of him. He has no idea, and she laughs her ass off, and then I just pretend like I'm talking about something else, and that's it. Although he's my wife is such a fucking snitch, dude. Listen to this. So my mother-in-law is vegetarian. She doesn't eat any meat. She doesn't even eat fertilized eggs. She's totally vegetarian, right? Very, very religious. And my father-in-law, he'll drink for months at a time, eat meat, and then he'll just fast, right? He'll just stop doing all of it. And so he is like, I guess, promised her that he would stay vegetarian this whole time. So my wife made chicken thighs last night, and they were really good. And they were eating their food, and we were eating our food. And he sits up at the counter where we're sitting. I'm like, why is he sitting up there? It doesn't make any sense. And so then after we get our food, he goes and sits down with her, and they start eating. And so we sit down and eat. My wife looks at me and goes, do you know why he was sitting up here? I said, no. She goes, he took a piece of the chicken, hid it under his rice, and he waited for my mom to go sit down, and he ate the chicken. I said, my man. My wife goes, should I tell my mom? I said, you're a fucking snitch. I said, you're a goddamn snitch. Let the man live his fucking life. Like this is why we can't have nice things. Like the poor guy, like I don't even drink, but like the poor guy, like I feel bad for him. Like he's all the way halfway across the world, doesn't speak any English, doesn't know anything that's going on. And he's just stuck here taking care of a baby. And he's just like, he's an older guy, an old Indian guy. He's great. But I'm thinking about, he loves whiskey. So I'm thinking about potentially, taking him out in the backyard, getting the fire pit that I bought, and letting the man have some whiskey to enjoy himself. Because when I was over there,
you gotta let him have that one right there.
When I was over there, they thought I was crazy because over there they don't drink their whiskey neat. They mix it with water to cut it down. And so when I went over there for my wedding, I was taking shots of whiskey straight, and they thought it was some kind of fucking like crazy, like inhuman, machine or something like that.
Bro, you got to let him have that one with the chicken. You got to let him have that. You ain't no
I
snitching.
did. I told her. I said, don't fucking say anything. Don't be a snitch.
When we started Madrina's early on, and when we had cans and we were selling at retail, I was doing like a demo setup at a Jewel Osco in Ukrainian Village up in Chicago. And this older guy and this older gal came up to the stand, and I let the guy try some mocha, and he tried it immediately. He just goes, mocha, because he was real Eastern European, and he didn't really speak English too well, but he goes, mocha. And I said, do you want some? He goes, yes, mocha, I want 2. And he grabs 2 cans. And then the wife immediately goes, no, you can't have mocha. And then he has this look of defeat on his face, and he puts the mocha back, and then he walks directly to the checkout line with his wife with his head down. And while they're waiting in line, he's standing there probably about 30 feet from me, 20 feet from me. And he kind of like looks back and catches my eye. And I show him the mocha cans. I go, mocha. He comes over and goes, mocha. And he grabs the cans and he sneaks them into the cart as it's going down the conveyor line. And I was like, man, I just let you have one right there. Not only did you get some coffee, but he had this little victory, like, F my wife, I'm getting that one right there.
That happened last night too. Like he ended up eating the chicken, so he didn't eat all the rotis, and he didn't have 2 more rotis. So my wife is crying laughing because he tried being slick, hiding from his wife that he didn't eat chicken, but because of that, he was too full to eat the rest of the rotis, and now the wife is yelling at him for not eating the rotis because she thinks he's wasting food. So he's screwed either way. So I stood up, I walked over, he doesn't speak any English, and I said, Papa, he looks back, and I said, I got you. Let me get that roti. He goes, what? I said, let me get that roti. I got you. I said, it's you and me against the Indian women. Okay. I ain't letting you go down like that. All right. I'm your wingman. So that was fun. But you just said something about the Ukrainian village and a stand. Our first story actually has to do with Ukrainians in a stand.
It does, guys. We're going to catch y'all up and get a little update on what's going on over with the whole Russia-Ukrainian conflict, the war that's been going on. Let me.
I held that one in the back when you said Ukrainian village in a coffee stand. I held that one. Yep. I held it.
I kind of saw what you're doing with the whiskey thing, but I thought, hey, there's a first story Ukrainian village over in Ukraine. I got a Ukrainian village story. Let's deviate. We made it work, guys. The last remaining Ukrainian soldiers in Mariupol are holding out in the Azovstal steelworks. Here's what we know. So the story is going to take us through a couple little tidbits here, but then Stocky also has some things to say about this. So it says the last remnants of the Ukrainian forces defending the southeastern port city of Mariupol are reportedly holding out in underground shelters beneath the vast Azovstal steel plant. Am I saying that right? Azovstal? I'm sure.
Yeah, I don't speak Ukrainian.
Along with about 1,000 civilians. Most of the civilians are women and children and old people, the city council wrote on the Telegram messaging app on Monday local time. Mariupol has been under siege since March 2nd, and Russian forces have managed to take almost complete control. The city would be a huge strategic prize, linking territory held by pro-Russian separatists in the east with the Crimea region that Moscow annexed in 2014. However, the remaining Ukrainian forces have so far remained difficult to root out from the steelworks, which have been likened to a fortress. What a crazy picture this is right here, man.
Yeah.
So
this is nuts because this is, just like you were saying, to run down what we know about Russia. So long story short, TLDR, Russia's the invasion. Everybody knew that. They were pushing into the western side, getting close to it. Then all of a sudden they hit resistance that they weren't expecting. The morale was down. They were running out of food. They were running out of, they were freezing to death. They were losing it. The morale was going away. They had to hire mercenaries. They got pushed back. Then instead of, admitting defeat, they said, hey, we did what we needed to do. Now we're going to focus on the southern region. They ended up losing the port city to the locals. Now they're trying to take it back. At the same time, they're bombing the shit out of the eastern one. They're doing a new offensive right now. On top of that, we ended up seeing their flagship get sunk. They say it's because of a storm. Ukraine says they shot it down. And now you've got Finland and Sweden talking about joining NATO. Russia says if they do that, they're going to consider a nuclear option.
Wow.
So there's a lot going on right there. But this one steel mill may be the catalyst that changes everything. I'm gonna tell you why. Okay, listen here, kids. Come on in. Let Daddy Stocky tell you a story. Okay, Poppy.
Daddy Stocky.
Daddy Stocky. Okay, sorry. That's what the Madrinas ladies say. Okay, so here's what I'm gonna say. All right. If you remember, there was an island at the beginning of the invasion. I forgot what it's called. Snake Island, Skull Island. I don't know what the fuck it was called. But there was some there were Ukrainian soldier. Are you okay, buddy?
I'm good, bro. We're listening to damn
you okay over there? You got a vein popping out of your head. You're fucking.
It's so funny.
Does this fall in line with the comments you were talking about before the show?
I don't remember what we were talking about before the show.
Borderline, you said?
I don't remember what we were talking about before the show. Go on with your story.
All right. So there was an island, and the Russians were telling him to, back down. And he says, Russian warship, go fuck yourself. And then they bomb. You okay, buddy? Can we get through this podcast?
I'm laughing, bro. You can't say something so fucking asinine and then not expect me to laugh.
Do you not know this is episode 21.
You can't expect me not to laugh. When that shit gets said, it's funny, but I'm also not audibly laughing. You're just focusing in on my
but I'm looking
laugh.
at you right now, and I'm just seeing you like all red. I see veins sticking out of your head. You're like having a hard time breathing, and it's still happening. And I don't know
funny,
how to
bro.
continue.
We're also listening.
I'm talking about people dying in a war, and you're laughing. I can't continue the story.
Go on.
Okay. All right. So there was an... There was an island, and so they got bombed, right? And it became like this big hero story. But then it kind of got shut away because everybody was like paying attention to the rest of the war. So now you've got the Black Hawk Down, you've got the Alamo. This is their Alamo, right? This is a bunch of the civilians took back the city. It was a big story. The civilians and the guerrilla fighters, they all took back the city, and now Russia's coming for it again because they want the port city. They know if you own the port city, you own in and out of the country. But there's a steel mill there with a few soldiers that are in there, and the Russian forces, this massive force that has rebuilt, has said to them, "Lay down your arms or prepare to be exterminated." And they basically tell them to go fuck themselves. And they're in the steel mill that's not just some random steel mill that could easily be wiped out. It's built like a fucking fortress because you're talking about, chemicals, you're talking about molten metal and all this stuff like that. So it's not an easy task to clear them out. So now it's taken them a while to decide what they're going to do. But during that time, the rest of the world is starting to find out about this. And that is what builds heroes and martyrs, and that's what can change public opinion. If everybody, the world is watching these guys, and they become the fucking heroes in the last stand of the Alamo, I mean, if the Russia takes them out, then the world may actually flip on it. Instead of being apathetic to what's going on, actually care about it, which could lead to world leaders actually sanctioning the one thing that would hurt Russia, and that's their oil and energy that people keep buying. So I'm keeping very close eye on this. I think it's actually insane to watch. This may be their Alamo.
This is the moment where you said this is like what movies are made of. This is that.
Yeah, like the Alamo, Black Hawk Down.
Yeah, exactly. Like that. Like in a few years, where we might see Azovstal. Like that moment, that critical, emotional moment. I feel like it would
probably not be named that because less people would go see it because, I feel like it would have a better name than that. But thank you for...
Good name.
I don't think so.
It's literally Azovstal Steelworks or Mariupol. There's your other thing. There's your other potential name. Or the movie that is unfolding here.
Why not The Last Stand of Ukraine? Ooh, I'd go see that. Good trailer.
The Last Stand of Ukraine. Either way, let's hope for the best for those that are holed up in that fortress. Obviously, it's been...
let's hope for the best. Yeah, let's hope for the best. What is the best, Alex? Tell me what the best is. I want to hear what the best case scenario is here.
Can they live? They're
not going to live. They're not going to live unless they lay down their arms, but they can't do that now because then they'll be called pussies. They are going to die. It's just about, I guess the best would be
how the movie
wiped
ends.
out
That's
without
not how the
suffering.
movie ends. The movie doesn't end that way. The movie ends with a hero saving everybody. That's what goes on here.
The movie ended in Titanic with Jack dying, and then this woman going on and living the rest of her life, marrying a man, living with him for 50 years, having children, having a life, and on her deathbed, the only thing she can think about is this dude she had a fucking 24-hour fling with, and not the rest of her life. That is a horrible plot hole.
That was fiction.
It doesn't matter. No, the Titanic wasn't fiction.
No, the story, the love story.
You think they're gonna do a fucking? There's a documentary and there's a movie.
Of what? The Titanic? Of course.
Oh my fucking god! Moving on. Speaking of things going down, that's not my wife. And Titanic as well. Okay, okay. Moving on. Not going down is airplanes. Good, because we had that China crash that we talked about recently, where the black box has been recovered, very much damaged, and they're going to be keeping an eye on it. And China's actually allowed Boeing to continue to fly again. But speaking of flights, really bad transition. This was probably the worst one I went into.
Very smooth.
But one thing that is going down is masks off your face. Alex, take it away.
The Florida judge voids U.S. mask mandate for planes and other travel APnews.com reporting this date, April 19th, guys, was the day. You can mark this day, the day that the rest of the country just gets wildly confused about when and where.
Everybody just became Florida.
Everybody. At this point, though, I mean, there's airlines that are going to still uphold their mask mandate or whatever, and then people aren't going to wear them, and then the flight attendants are going to say you got to put the mask on. No one knows what the hell's going on. I read last night whenever this stuff was coming through. I read one of the spokespeople for I think it was for United came out and said, yeah, it's like we're listening to two different sources here, the CDC and this Florida judge, and we just don't know. It's like the parents are arguing. We don't know if we should wear our mask, we don't wear our mask, we do enforce this, do we not enforce this?
Well, the Florida judge is the rule, and the only way to do that is to appeal it, and you have to go to either another higher court, which generally is going to be the Supreme Court at this point. So if they're saying it's unconstitutional, then it's going to come down to, until it gets challenged again, it's going to come down to the business making the decision for themselves. And I can't imagine one airline saying, yeah, we're going to force the mandate, nobody else will, because they'll probably lose out a lot because people are tired of wearing masks.
So they may not only are people tired of wearing them, the flight attendants are and the staff are so tired of enforcing them. It's the whole damn flight. It's the whole time. Put the mask over your nose. You got to put the mask up over your nose. Sir, row 4, mask over the nose. Listen, you got to take a bite and then put your mask back on. When you want another bite, you take it off. You take another bite, take a little sip of your, $8 cocktail, put the mask back on. That's the whole flight. 80% of their job right now is enforcing this damn mask mandate. There's nobody that wants this to go away sooner than that staff. They got to be so tired and sick of it. But according to this article, it says a federal judge in Florida struck down a national mask mandate on airplanes and mass transit Monday, and airlines and airports swiftly began repealing their requirements that passengers wear face coverings. The judge's decision freed airlines, airport, and mass transit system to make their own decisions about mask requirements, resulting in a mix of responses. Go figure. So yeah, I mean that's what I'm talking about. It's just we're now entering the state of confusion. Before it's fully no mask, and before
confusion. If you want to keep wearing your mask, wear your mask, but other people aren't going to have to because the CDC, who said you had to wear a mask, has now said you don't. Listen, I don't know what to tell you. I mean, that's what it is. I mean, here's the thing. Do I not want to be able to? I mean, I already can't have fucking peanuts on my flight because one goddamn guy ate peanuts instead of crackers and had a fucking allergic reaction and died, and now nobody can have fucking peanuts. I'm sorry, okay? If you want to do it, do it. I can't. There's a reason. You'd be surprised the reason why it says do not drink on bleach. There is always people out there. You can't baby the world, okay? The mask mandate the same people that you were screaming to give you a mask mandate because they're the authority are now the ones telling you don't need it, and now you're yelling at them because you're saying it's too soon. Weren't they the ones you said were the ones that had that knew what they were talking about? So you got to make up your mind here. If you want to wear a mask, wear it, okay? I still wear a mask because my wife makes me. It is what it is, but you can't force everybody if the CDC is saying it's not. So get over it, But it's real quick. The funny thing that came out was the best line came from Uber. So Uber said, oh, okay, automatically after that, listen, you don't have to wear a mask anymore if you don't want to. And if that makes you uncomfortable as a driver or as a passenger, just cancel the ride. Fucking walk, dude. Yeah. Walk is what they told them.
So this article says sleepy passengers on a Delta Airlines flight between Atlanta and Barcelona cheered and applauded when a flight attendant announced the news mid-flight over the ocean. What a way to hear that news. It says no one's happier. The quote from the attendant is, "No one's any happier than we are," the attendant says in a video posted by Dylan Thomas, who was on the flight. She added that people who wanted to keep their masks on were encouraged to do so, but we're ready to give them up, she added. So thank you and happy unmasking day.
I actually played Delta Airlines on the news today because that's great for them, because I think there was something like 2,000 or 3,000 people that were kicked off planes and there were disruptions and delays because people didn't want to wear their mask. And the poor flight attendants, they're just trying to do their job and they're always getting the shit for it. I think it's a great thing that we're getting back some sense of normalcy. I'm not going to make the whole, well, this is just like the flu, but that's kind of what it's going to be. I mean, the flu was deadly pandemic. It killed a lot of people that came out with vaccines. Herd immunity happened, and now we live with it. But we always forget 60,000 people a year die in the United States from the flu. So it's just going to become COVID season, and we're just going to be used to it.
So people will talk about pre-pandemic. That's a term you've heard. Oh, like pre-pandemic life was like this, or pre-pandemic we did these things. Now, when do you believe we are post-pandemic.
Next election.
You mean next general election?
Yeah.
So 2 more years.
2 years. I think 2 years is when it happens, because then we all know that Biden, if he runs again, is no way he's going to win unless something crazy happens. Then it's going to be it's not going to be an incumbent running against a field. It's going to be an entire field of Democrats running against an entire field of Republicans. It's going to be very divisive, coming off of the craziness that is Trump and the apathetic fucking geezer that is Biden. The country is going to be in fucking political civil war, and no one's going to give a shit about mask mandates and stuff. So I would say end of 2023 into 2024 is when it all goes away, because now we're all pissed off about something else.
So you don't believe that we're currently so this article says the mask requirement covered airlines, airports, mass transit, and taxis, and was the biggest vestige of pandemic restrictions that were once the norm across the country. It's already sort of speaking in a tense that's like past. Talking about this was like the
reason
last
is
thing.
because kids can't get vaccinated yet, and so there's a lot of parents. Like my wife makes me wear a mask everywhere because we have a baby and she's not vaccinated, and because of that, I think that as long as kids aren't vaccinated, that's going to be the concern, because there's a lot of parents that don't want their kid to get it, and that. So maybe if a vax comes out for the kids or some other thing that changes it, but in the meantime, I think people also have politicized this on both sides to an extent where they're gonna hold this ground. They're not gonna hold the ground. They're either gonna say, listen, we never needed a mask in the first place. I never wore one. I never got vaccinated. I'm fine, you fucking liberal pussy snowflake. And the other side's gonna be like, oh my God, you're such a Nazi. Only a Nazi would tell people they can't do what they want. Oh my God, put a mask on, you monster. So I just automatically, yes, I just basically said everybody on the right's a redneck, everyone on the left is a fucking pussy. But I'm just doing that to be extra polarizing, because that's what each side thinks the other side is. And that's where we're at with this. I feel like this has become the political thing. Like there's nothing else. Everyone needs a reason to hate other people, because it makes them feel like they're more part of something. They feel like they have an identity, and their identity is hating something.
It's tribal.
It's how two women, like I always say, two men, the only thing two men need to be lifelong friends is one thing in common. The only thing two women need to be lifelong friends is to hate the one person in common. That's it.
Yeah, it's just tribalism, and that's what, unfortunately, that's what politics has turned into, and it feeds off of the easy, the comfortable, the part of the brain where you don't really want to do a lot of work. You want to just kind of fall in line with other people like you, and
you want to feel like you're special.
Yeah, so it has become super politicized, because I've heard, how many times you hear. I mean, I'm not going to do the caricature versions, but how many times you hear someone who is like, conservatives say, oh, the data shows that masks didn't do anything. But then on the flip side, you hear someone who's, ultra liberal say, oh, look at the data. It's proving that masks are doing work. It's just like, what are you guys talking about?
Gun violence. It's very simple to do it both sides. If you're on the left and you're very anti-gun, you can say there's 68,000 homicides a year in the United States. Gun violence is absolutely insane. And they're not wrong. If you're on the right, you can say, well, technically, most of that is suicides, police shootings, and gang violence. And when it comes to, gun deaths from homicides from just whatever, it's like we're like number 20th in the world, which is technically true, but that still doesn't address the fact that there's still a lot of people killing each other. So you can skew data any way you want. I mean, I think it's like 93% of all statistics are made up anyways.
Yeah. No, I think it's 69.420% according to Elon Musk's Twitter.
Okay, Elon Musk. Speaking of Titanic, did you know what the difference between the Titanic and your mom is? We know how many people went down on the Titanic.
The decision by the U.S. District Judge Catherine Kimball Mazzell in Tampa, an appointee of former president. You're not going to get me the way you got me a few minutes ago.
I'm not getting you. I just thought about that for a second. Yeah, go ahead.
In Tampa, an appointee of former President Donald Trump also said the U.S. Centers for Disease Control, aka the CDC, failed to justify its decision and did not follow proper rulemaking procedures that left it fatally flawed. In her 59-page ruling, Mazzell said the only remedy was to vacate the rule entirely across the country because it would be impossible to end it for the limited group of people who objected in the lawsuit. The judge said a limited remedy would be no remedy at all, and courts have full authority to make a decision such as this, even if the CDC's goals in fighting the virus are laudable. So there's probably more coming here. This is probably not the last you heard of it, especially because last week, didn't Biden just extend the mask mandate another 15 days into May 3rd or something like that? So Now we're in
Not that I'm aware of. I know a bunch of blue states ended up dropping the mask mandate when the Russia thing happened. I'm not saying that's why, but at the same timing. But it went under the radar because of what happened going on in Russia.
At the end of the day, does it really matter if you have a mask on or not? I think what matters the most is what is fueling.
Come on, you can do it.
What is fueling?
You had like a million ways to do the transition, and that's what you went with?
What is going to fuel the flight that you're on? How would you have done it? Let's hear your transition.
God, I would have gone something along the lines of, everyone's bitching about masks now, but no one ever bitches about what's important. And that is the real dangers of flying, not crashing, but killing the earth.
So according to CNN, an A380 super jumbo jet just completed a flight powered by cooking oil. It's huge, it's wide, and this is the article. It says it's huge, it's wide, and it's potentially a lot more sustainable. The Airbus A380, a behemoth of the skies, has completed a trial flight powered on cooking oil. The test airplane completed a 3-hour flight from BLAGNAC airport in Toulouse. How do you say that?
BLAG what?
BLAGNAC.
BLAGNAC
Airport in Toulouse. Airbus's French headquarters on March 25th. Blagnac. On March 25th. It was powered by sustainable aviation fuel, or SAF, predominantly made of used cooking oil and waste fats, and operating on a single Rolls-Royce Trent 900 engine. What? Bro, Airbus then followed up with a second A380 flight using the same cooking oil fuel on March 29th, flying from Toulouse to Nice. The second flight was to monitor SAF use during takeoff and landing. The fuel was supplied by Total Energies, a company based in France's Normandy region. It was made from hydroprocessed esters and fatty acids, which is free of both aromatics and sulfur. It says Airbus has been testing the use of SAF-powered flights for the last year, with an A350 being tested in March of 2021. Currently, Airbus aircraft can be powered up to 50% SAF blended with traditional kerosene. That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's
Let me tell you
crazy,
something.
man.
I remember back in, I think it was the 80s or 90s or maybe 2000s. I think it was 90s, where they were trying to test out driving cars on cooking oil, and it failed miserably. The same thing's going to happen here. I think it's cool. I think it's a cool concept. I think it's really awesome to think, oh, wow, we could just reuse our cooking oil and power stuff. But they tried this shit before, and I forgot why it failed. It didn't work out. It's a pipe dream, but I like it. I think it's cool. I think it's probably somebody that had a big government contract, needed to waste up all the money so they could justify getting the same contract again. And this is what they went with it. It sounds good. It's great. But I really don't think that there's a future in this. I mean, the amount of cooking oil you would need to get and transport and whatever. I mean, the only place I could really think about this is like maybe you could, put all the Mexican food trucks around the airport, and then you could just do like a kind of thing there. But other than that, I don't know where you're going to get that kind of oil, and how long is that going to sustain? I mean, it's not combustible the way that that oil is. I mean, if it was, we'd be using it forever.
How does it go? Like, what is it combustible? I mean, it has to be, right? It's powering an engine.
Combustible. I mean, it's fat and oils. I mean, those are combustible, but not at the level that, I mean, it's probably like a 9 or 10 to 1 on oil that it would do. And I would imagine that because it's not as combustible, it gunks up more often, more cleanings needed, more mechanical failures are. I mean, once again, why didn't cars do it? Why didn't that take off? That would have been perfect. You're not in the fucking sky. You don't have to worry about falling out of the sky. Why didn't it work for cars?
Yeah, man. I don't know anything about cooking oil. I don't know anything about any of this. All I know is that it's an incredible headline, and everybody just keeps trying to find, whatever the alternative is going to be. And right now, I feel like the only thing in the market that's proving that it has any legs is electric. That's the only thing that's proving that it has.
Keep an eye on hydro. I invested in Plug. They just did a huge deal with Walmart for liquid hydrogen for energy, and they ran today. I made a lot of money on it today. It was really good. But listen. You need cooking oil, you need grease, you need it for stuff. And I'll tell you what, if you can't put Mexican food carts next to your airport, I say put a Taco Bell next to every airport, because that is a place that has a lot of grease left over.
And there's going to be more grease with the amount of people that are flocking right now. According to their website, TacoBell.com, fan favorite Mexican pizza makes historic return to Taco Bell. All rights reserved this May. So, press release on their website says, while rumors of the Mexican pizza's return have been swirling for months. It hasn't been publicly confirmed until now. From petitions to memorials to merch, the Taco Bell cult has, and it says in parentheses, rightfully been all but silent about its menu hiatus. Doja Cat, the voice of the Taco Bell people. Oh my God, is that real life? Doja Cat.
I know who Doja Cat is. I remember that YouTube had a video of her song, and I watched it on stream, and I noticed that you could see her nipples through her top, and I was like, oh shit, I'm gonna get in trouble. I was like, this is on YouTube.
Why would you get in trouble? You didn't upload it.
Because I'm showing it on my stream.
Oh, because you're showing it on stream. It says Doja Cat, the voice of the Taco Bell people, was one of the first to confirm the news this past weekend when she literally dropped the mic with the hot news of the Mexican pizza return this May. But Doja wasn't the only fan who played a role in bringing back the Mexican pizza. Equally vocal with their pleas for the menu items return were 200K plus signers of a petition spearheaded by superfan Krish Yagurdar. I hope I said that right. Leading up to the May 19th return, fans can expect even more ways to get involved with its
That man is not a super fan.
return.
John Daly is a super fan. That was one of our first ever stories.
What, John Daly?
John Daly and his $400 Taco Bell order.
Yeah,
but,
John Daly,
you know
man.
what? As we were talking about this, I just thought of it. Huh?
By the way, on John Daly, real quick, Hooters just announced their very first name, image, and likeness endorsement for a college athlete, and it's John Daly Jr., the golfer. So they're sponsoring his kid to play golf, and that's their first NIL endorsement that they have. Apparently, he just posts up at Hooters forever. But like during the Masters at Augusta and stuff.
From the St. Murray's or whatever, the Pelicans, whatever, or Peacocks, that white kid with the mustache, he signed one with Wild Wings or whatever, Buffalo Wild Wings or Wingstop or something like that. I saw that. But real quick, back to this Mexican pizza thing. You know that meme of like, I think it's from Predator, where it's like the white guy and the black guy are both like doing their arms and they're like, you know, the meme right there?
Yeah.
Yeah. I could just see it's like Mexicans, Italians. This is not okay. Like, it's called a Mexican pizza. Italians are like, this is not a pizza. This is an abomination. I'm rolling in the grave. And the Mexicans are like, hey man, this is not Mexican food. They say this is an abomination as well, man. So like everybody is fucking pissed off right now. This is not Mexican and it's not pizza. The Italians and Mexicans should get together and fucking take on Taco Bell. I'm sorry, Taco Bell is not Mexican food, and I'm not trying to be a on my high box, you know, fucking better than thou, whatever. But I lived in Albuquerque, New Mexico for a long time when I was in the military, and let me tell you something, okay? The fact that they can even call it Mexican or Tex-Mex is insane. But then again, you know, we call NFTs art. So, hey, well, I'm just a guy. Yeah, I'm just a guy. You know,
they're the same company as the brand that made pizza popular in the United States. Yum Brands, Pizza Hut, KFC, and Taco Bell.
Pizza Hut did not make pizza popular in the United States.
Listen, I'm watching this show called The Food That Built America. Okay, and they're talking to me about the brothers that started Pizza Hut and the brothers that started Domino's. They're the ones in Wichita. Pizza Hut started in Wichita. They're telling me the story about these two brothers coming up with this idea of this.
They're the ones who commercialized pizza. They didn't make it popular.
Isn't that the same thing?
No,
I mean,
you can have something popular that's not commercialized.
No, there wasn't. Listen, according to this documentary, no one really knew what pizza was.
McDonald's made people in America love hamburgers. No, it just made people be able to get it cheaper, faster, and
it's not like that though, because pizza wasn't a thing before here.
What are you talking about? The Italians fucking moved over in the late 1800s in New York. New York pizza was a huge thing up all the way through the 40s, 50s, and 60s.
All I'm telling you is what I'm seeing on this damn show, and they're talking to me about Pizza Hut being the pioneers of the American pizza. They've teamed up with Taco Bell. They're not going to put a stop to it.
Do you remember when Pizza Hut used to have the buffet?
The buffet, the like lunch buffet.
I fucking murdered those things because I was so poor as a kid that I didn't get to eat. But every time now and then, if you brought in grades and you had A's and B's or higher, they would give you a free personal pan pizza every report card. Oh. And I was able to get a blank report card, whatever that wasn't, you know, you couldn't sign it by the teacher or for your parents, but I was able to get a hold of one of those, and I would fucking do the little thing, and I would go to all the Pizza Huts and get one. It was great. And then I would take it to the food line, and they would give me a free cookie as well. So I was a criminal as a kid.
Some ingenuity as a kid. I'm not going to label you as a criminal. I'm going to label you as that was pretty ingenious of you.
I guess it's not actually a crime because that would be a civil thing, and that's not a crime. That's a tort.
Yeah,
those of you
that's
guys looking up.
you're a very
It is a
tort.
tort.
You're a very tort. You're a very tortish kid.
I told my wife, he said, you're feeling very tort.
Don't say that to her. The Mexican pizza looks good though. What is this? Is that salsa?
It's just
it's
listen,
like a crunch wrap,
obviously
kinda.
you are not a fan you are not,
I've had like 3 of these in my
educated in the
life.
ways of fine dining. So
I've had
let me
like
please
3 of
explain
these
to
in
you.
my life. These
It
Mexican
is
pizzas.
a crispy tortilla shell, okay? Topped with some ground beef or beans, followed by some pizza sauce.
Is that pizza sauce?
With another tortilla, and then more pizza sauce, and then some sliced tomatoes
And cheese.
y lechuga, tomate y lechuga.
And cheese.
Por mexicanos, con mis amigos, lo siento, pero es comida de no mexicano, es solo y terrible. Pero tortilla con tortilla y carne y salsa de
Frijoles.
tomate y lechuga tomate, posible queso por 50 centavos más. Gracias. Tu madre es muy bonita, tu culo grande, perfecta.
Well done. I'd rather have a crunch wrap, but these look good too. Well done. These look good. They're coming back, guys. May 19th.
Am I gonna get canceled or cut?
You will not get cut from this podcast for liking a
Because I don't
Mexican
know,
pizza.
food and getting cut seems to be kind of a thing.
You will not get cut from this podcast
Especially
for liking
a teenage girl.
a Mexican pizza. However, if you play in the USFL, which is a brand new where'd you go?
You missed it. That's fine. Good. Keep going.
Hey, I didn't hear you. A brand new football league. Y'all, you can't like chicken salad. Oh no, you can't like pizza in lieu of chicken salad. So otherwise you'll get cut from your damn team. Guys, the USFL is a league that just got revamped. And according to this article on nypost.com, the Pittsburgh Maulers might have just won the award for the most bizarre reason for cutting a player. The revamped USFL's rollout weekend included the Saturday release of United by Football, a season in the USFL, a documentary series chronicling the lead up to the league's return. In a wild clip from the documentary, Maulers running back Davion Smith was cut from the team for requesting pizza instead of chicken salad at the team hotel. The snippet sounds like a spoof, but it is reportedly 100% real. In the clip, Maulers coach Kirby Wilson sits Smith down and promptly exits after telling him the bad news. He crossed the line, so we had to deal with it. Wilson said in the clip, any disrespect of football or members of staff, USFL, etc., will not be tolerated. Here is the video. I'm gonna play it right now.
I think he probably should have knelt while he ate the salad in protest.
So here's the audio, so you guys can hear this.
John Peterson, personnel director.
What's up, man?
Okay.
Good morning, man.
Well, he crossed the line. So we had to deal with it.
This is very difficult for me as a head coach, my first time. But we have a business. Okay, this is business, and you're a businessman. We all are.
He says you're a businessman. We all are.
When I first talked to you guys on March 22nd, I had a handbook. I covered some items that were very important to me.
Line 46 addresses that. Any disrespect of football or members, staff, USFL, hotel, etc., will not be tolerated.
Disrespect, dude ate a pizza.
With you. So unfortunately, hear me out. Unfortunately, cost of doing business, I'm gonna have to let you go. Okay?
I didn't think I did anything or said anything.
The guy's like, what the hell are you talking about, man?
Exactly.
It's not important right now.
Right.
It's not important.
I don't know.
It's already happened.
Right.
It's already happened.
I didn't say anything disrespectful. He said, is that going to be a problem? I said, yes. That's it. And I walked away. I mean, I didn't think that was disrespectful. Me saying, yes, I don't eat chicken salad. And I was like, is there another option?
He goes, bro, I just wanted a damn pizza.
Like, can I get a slice of pizza? He said, no. I was like, he said, is that going to be a problem? I said, yes. That's all I said. I didn't say no cuss word, nothing. That's all I said.
So I guess the whole crux of this whole thing is that they wanted him eating chicken salad. And then the coach was like, is that going to be a problem? He was like, yeah, I don't eat chicken salad, so I'm going to have some pizza. And then they fire he's let go. Bro, are you out of your damn mind? Are you out of your damn mind? It says Smith attempted to explain his side of the story in the footage, denying that he said anything disrespectful. Smith claimed that when asked if he ate chicken salad, he said no, and asked if there was something else he could eat. When a staff member came in with a pizza, Smith claimed he simply asked if he could have a slice. Bro, I don't know what to do with this, man. I don't know. This has got to be a meme or a joke or something. There's no way. There's no way.
I mean, you'd be surprised how maybe he broke a rule or whatever. You'd be surprised how fragile some people's egos are, especially when they're in a position of authority. Like, imagine like you are either a former college coach, or you were assistant coach in the NFL, and your dreams were to be a big time NFL coach and be famous, something like that. But you just went nowhere, and you ended up in the fucking USFL, and like you have nothing, and like you're just angry at the world, and you're with a bunch of players who ended up washing out or didn't make it to the NFL. So everyone's fucking feeling fragile egos right now, and you need it. So somebody disrespects you, you're just gonna go off on them. I mean, that's what it sounds like to me. But like I said, the man should have eaten it while kneeling to show his protest, and then maybe he could have wrote a book as well. Not shitting on Colin Kaepernick, just saying, if you want to stand up for your rights or kneel for your rights, I say go for it. Okay. My grandfather is a huge Trump guy, and every time we talk about Colin Kaepernick, it's like he just loses his fucking mind. He's like, he does this, he disrespects the flag and the American people. And I said to my grandfather, I said, Granddad, I said, listen, first of all, I'm a combat vet, so don't use me as an excuse or whatever. I said, first of all, a flag doesn't represent a country. A flag doesn't represent people. It represents a government, okay? So he's not protesting. He's not shitting on people. 90% of the soldiers that went overseas and died went over because they had to. They didn't want to go. It's not like they're like, oh, I'm going to go die for my country. Like, please don't let me fucking die. I just want a college education. And then on top of that, I was like, listen, the whole reason that people who do go fight for the country, or if they're told to fight, they think they're fighting for the country, is for people to have the right to protest and have the freedom of speech and do these things. So if anything, I want the guy to do it, or else I fought and people died for nothing. So it's a huge thing. Sorry, went on a tangent there, but that's my little Colin Kaepernick thing. But speaking of football and things and all that other good stuff, I mean, listen, you're the Cowboys. You're one of the most, worth, what is it? Sorry, valuable franchises in the world. Let me get this out.
With you right now?
The Cowboys, one of the most valuable franchises of any sport in the world, decided, hey, we want to take all this extra money we have because we don't want to spend it on a good quarterback, and we are going to spend it somewhere else. Tell them about it, Alex.
ESPN.com reporting Todd Archer, the ESPN staff writer, says Dallas Cowboys seal partnership with cryptocurrency platform blockchain.com. The Dallas Cowboys become the first NFL team to add a digital currency platform as a sponsor Wednesday, agreeing to a long-term deal with blockchain.com. While fans will not yet be allowed to use crypto at AT&T Stadium, they will have the opportunity to earn exclusive fan experiences that include trips to away games and events hosted by players. At the recent owners meeting in Palm Beach, Florida, the league said it would allow teams to begin sponsorship deals with crypto companies. When you have a chance to really delve into the kind of future that you have in the digital world, I wanted the Dallas Cowboys to be a part of that future in any and every way we could, Jerry Jones said. So, listen, they're getting involved in crypto. Everybody and their mom is getting involved with crypto right now. I don't think this has anything. I don't think this is going to stabilize crypto's future at all. I feel like the volatile nature of crypto, it's going to start being one of those catch-22s where you can't really use crypto as a currency, as an actual currency for goods and services like this because it's too volatile and people don't want to rely on it.
It's a fucking commodity. I'm sorry, crypto bros. Listen, I'm not against crypto. I'm not anti-crypto. I think the future is crypto, okay? At some point in the future. But I have to be honest with you. It is not a currency. It is not an alternate currency. It is not going to. If you want to buy something other than maybe the fucking weed shop or some small pizza shop down the road, you have to convert your crypto into cash. You use cash to buy crypto, and then you sell it for cash. That is a definition of a fucking commodity, okay? Now, here's the thing, okay? Everybody says, oh, crypto to this, I'm going to use crypto as an investment. That's fine. It's going to go up, but understand crypto in its current form is an investment as a commodity and not as a currency. You can't use it to buy shit. It's too fucking volatile. Yeah. I mean, it was goddamn 60,000. I said, oh, it's probably going to go down to 33 to 34,000. It hit 33,000. Then it went to 42,000, 50,000. Now it's back down to 30,000. Imagine being a coffee company and accepting crypto, and you take a huge order from everybody, and you get currency when it's worth 60,000. You turn around to buy from your supplier, it's 30,000. You're down 50% of your money, and then you're buying something at price from them, and then you go off, and then you go to sell it to people, and now they're buying it even lower. I mean, you're just fucked.
So that is the catch-22 of cryptocurrency, is that when you call it a currency, you hope that one day it can be, tenable and you can use it to buy goods and services. The only way to get that done is like one of the biggest selling points of crypto itself is that it's not regulated. You'd have to have someone come in and actually put some rules and some framework around the currency in order to make it tenable.
The best thing about crypto is the worst thing about crypto.
Yeah,
and that is that it's unregulated. The best thing is unregulated because, you could do whatever you want, but the worst thing is it's unregulated, meaning it's completely volatile and it can't be utilized as a way. But gold was the same way 150 years ago. 150 years ago, people were shitting in fucking holes in the ground without plumbing, and nobody took a goddamn bath or brushed their teeth. Okay, shit changes. People, the richest guy in the world, Rockefeller, it didn't matter how rich he was. He's still worse off than a lot of people are that are poor today because his kid fucking died because he couldn't get antibiotics because they didn't have it yet, and his kid died of a fucking flu or some shit.
The middle class right now lives just as good, if not better, of a life that Rockefeller did. I'm not saying relative to the other people in the community, but if you actually look at the luxuries that the middle class is afforded right now, it is so much better than the life that
the middle class, even the upper lower class, live better.
Yeah, I mean, not relative, but I mean, come on, look at what we have now. I mean, we got freaking central heating, or we got central air, we got central heating in our houses, we got bidets that we talked about freaking endlessly.
I don't want to talk about bidets anymore. I don't want to talk about bidets.
So crypto, anyway, the Dallas Cowboys are investing in crypto, or not investing in crypto. They are aligning with blockchain.com. And for all the crypto bros out there, it's obviously going to get everybody excited. They're going to see this and say, oh, hey, look, crypto's making it. At some point, crypto's going to have a little bit of regulation. And at some point, you're going to have to get over this whole bidet thing, man. You're really gonna have to get over that.
I still haven't used it. They're loving it. That's great for them, but I'm not using that shit.
At some point, you gotta not let the scars of your past define you.
Of water splash my asshole. Okay?
You cannot let the scars of your past define you.
To touch my asshole, I will pay for it.
You paid for that bidet. I mean, there you go. You better get use out of it.
I can't even spend my own money. I get in trouble every time I spend my own money.
Anyway, that's blockchain.com affiliating with the Dallas Cowboys, y'all. Again, crypto bros and everybody alike is going to get super excited about that.
If you're really upset at what I have to say, don't leave a hate comment, or do. I don't care. But you know what? You know what you really need? You need a hug.
You need a hug. And as far as a story that everybody in the world can get behind, guys, if you saw Twitter this past weekend, then you probably saw this clip that went viral of this homie at the Boston Celtics match, pulling one of these quick little hug moves and getting it done and exhaling just an absolute sigh of relief as if he was thinking about that hug for 3.5 quarters. The tweet actually says, you just know old buddy was waiting 3 3/4 quarters to get this hug off. This guy looked so stressed, but then immediately looked so pumped. Look at this.
I've never seen someone leave the friend zone into another level of friend zone as quickly as he did, but he still got his hug.
He did, man. This guy just made it happen. That exhale though, bro. Hold on, I'm gonna pause it on the look on the exhale. He's just like, oh my God. He wasn't even watching the game. The whole time he's thinking, when can I make a move? When can I do something?
Yeah. He wanted to make his move. And you know something? That could be the first step to a 1,000-mile journey for that dude. You never know. And you know something? No matter what happens there, the man made his move. He landed it. Whether it is reciprocated or not, he landed it and he became a fucking hero. I guarantee there's somebody out there, some girl in that high school is going to give him a fucking half-dry handy behind the gym this year just because of that. So you know what?
That's a big win for him, man. That's a big win for him. Or full dry. That's a big win for him. But just like most, little social, little viral stars, they come and they go. This guy, he's going to go forth and conquer in his life. And probably a few years from now, we're all going to forget the story of the dude that copped this incredible heroic hug here at the Boston Celtics game 1 against the Nets. But for some reason, one social star we've never forgotten about and just continues to get more and more popular, the Cash Me Outside girl, making headlines again. Because Cash Me Outside girl, BHAD BHABIE, pays all cash for a $6.1 million Florida mansion. She puts the cash in Cash Me Outside, according to the article, NewYorkPost.com. Danielle Bergoli, now known as Bad Baby, who launched the internet stardom 5 years ago when trying to fight Dr. Phil McGraw on his namesake talk show by uttering her famous words, "Cash me outside, how about that?" now has something else to add to her name, property. She bought a $6.1 million house, man. And she's got 14 million YouTube views is what it says, 16 million Instagram followers. She paid 6.1 million, man, for a house in Boca Raton. It's an all cash deal. This is like this is a viral star or whatever that has never just gone away. You know how many viral stars there have been? How many people that on social media just they burn white hot for like 15 seconds?
Found a way, just like the Paul brothers, especially Jake Paul did originally, to continue to make herself relevant by making people despise her and love her at the same time. We look around and we say, why is it that this generation is so stupid and does the dumbest shit and is always filming this out of that? Because it's rewarded. Because we are stuck on our phones, we're stuck on clips, we're stuck on viral moments, and we want to be entertained. And what is most entertaining? Fucking train wrecks of stuff. I mean, look at the Elon Musk Twitter thing, right? Everyone is keeping peeled to it because of the poison pill. I just dropped a YouTube video today on the poison pill and stuff like that. And the back and forth with the Twitter board and them trying to screw them away. Drama drives views because people are bored and people want to have that. And we are in a head down in the phone, quick take, and we love drama. We love feeling like we're part of it. It feels good, and we don't have to actually be involved in it, and it makes it happen. And if you can capitalize on it, you can make a lot of money. But the big thing is not getting viral. It's staying relevant. And in today's society, the best way to stay relevant is to have controversy. You know what? It happens with everybody. It happens the best of it. The most controversial people are the most relevant. People that should be canceled, people that should have bad problems, are the ones who continue to make success because of controversy. People love controversy. And that is what happens. You want to be successful? You can't be wholesome. You can't be wholesome. I'm sorry. Twitch streamers out there, those of you guys who want to be wholesome, maybe one of you, okay? The more wholesome you are, okay, the more you fall into obscurity and you fall out of relevance because it's mundane, it's boring, it's like fucking missionary sex, okay? It just gets old, okay? What you have to do is you have to have some kind of mean streak or bad streak, get caught up in some drama or get in some controversy. That's my piece on that.
Yeah, so I mean, 6.1 million. Apparently, she's already bought a house for 3.6 million. So I mean, she's got like 10 million in.
Well, she did
cash.
an OnlyFans when she turned 18. Everybody was fucking waiting for that because there's a lot of perverts out there.
So I mean, I'm sure that probably paid for this damn house. Honestly.
Oh yeah, dude, the amount of money Amaranth on Twitch makes something like 1.1 million a month on OnlyFans.
What? A month, bro? That's massive, man. That is a great amount of income. Good for her. Anyway, Bad Baby, guys, paying all cash for this house. And the thing is, man, you buy a house like that in Boca Raton, all cash, you flip that thing in 2 years, it's going to be worth like $8 million in 2 years. You make 1.
Until one hurricane comes through, and then everything's going to then South Florida real estate's going to get fucked because everyone's forgot because we haven't had a major hurricane hit in like 15 years. And everyone's forgot about it, and all this overseas money is being laundered into Miami into real estate, and it's popping up, and one fucking hurricane is going to clean house prices, and I'm going to buy the shit out of it.
Much
so I need a big hurricane to hit us. So that's why I'm in my backyard burning leaves. I'm leaving my car on all night. I'm fucking running the water. I'm doing everything I can to put carbon into the atmosphere to cause global warming to get a fucking big hurricane to hit us so I can buy real estate cheap.
We hope no one gets hurt. We hope everyone stays safe.
Speaking of cash and money, maybe she should give some of that cash to someone else who's viral but isn't making money and is losing money, because the one thing about controversy is controversy will bring you money until you cross a certain threshold of controversy and you can get fucked for it.
Alex Jones' Infowars files for bankruptcy in wake of defamation suits over his assertions that the Sandy Hook massacre was a hoax. Listen, if that's really what he said, I mean that's quite an asshole thing to say. This article is CBSNews.com. Says far-right website Infowars and 2 other companies owned by radio host Alex Jones have filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy protection in light of several defamation lawsuits. The filings were made in the U.S. Bankruptcy Court for the Southern District of Texas. Chapter 11 bankruptcy procedures put a hold on pending civil litigation while letting a business keep running as it prepares a turnaround plan. Court documents seen by CBS News show that the companies that filed were Infowars, IW Health, aka Infowars Health, and Prison Planet TV. Infowars says in the filing that it has assets of $0 to $50,000 and liabilities of 1 to 10 million. That's crazy, bro. That's a lot. I mean, that is
one thing people forget about freedom of speech, and I think people miss out on this, is that, and it's the same thing we talked about in the podcast before, is that these Bill of Rights are not what the government gives you; it's what the government's not allowed to fuck with. But that's the government, and so freedom of speech allows you freedom from persecution or retaliation from your government. It doesn't stop you from being canceled or from being brought on civil charges from other people, because you don't have that right. So it's not that he said that it was a hoax. Nothing wrong with that. People say stupid shit all the time. That's not illegal. You can't get in trouble for it. But what you can get in trouble is if there is evidence to support that you do it to a point where you can actually, what we call, incite retaliation. And so in this case, he went on to it to not just say that it was fake, but to accuse the parents of being actors and of faking this and a government conspiracy, which then in turn, not only is that liable, right? Liable's when you speak, right? Or is that slander? Libel's when it's written and slander's when it's spoken, right?
I think so.
Okay. Not only is that slander, but because of that, it directly led to viewers and followers of him to harass those people on top of that. So you can say what you want, but once you actually cross the line, then it becomes a civil case. And that is what happened. The judge said it was civil. And the worst thing is that half the time, all he had to do was show up to court and to get a continuation or something like that. He decided not to show up to court, which threw a contempt charge at him, which doubled up his charges, which in turn also made him look even worse. So he wasn't going to get a settlement in his favor, a favorable settlement or judgment because of that. So, hey, listen, you dig the grave you're in. Listen, I'm all about freedom of speech, but you also got to watch the fuck you do. I mean, I'm also the kind of guy out here that, like, if I were to say something like, for example, I got a shit deal from some people that live or that some people that work down the line. They screwed me over on my backyard, right? They put the sod back there and did everything, but didn't actually do a good job, and all my stuff died. If I were to get on my show and say those guys are pieces of shit, and they screwed me intentionally, and they knew what they were doing, and they robbed me, and I hope their business closes down, and I'd hate it if somebody were to fucking give them bad reviews and whatever, and then all my followers did that, I could technically be brought up on a lawsuit from them, back to the tort, as it were.
Just don't. There's some things you just don't talk about. And why? What is there to gain?
No. I disagree. I say talk about it because you know what? You're free from persecution and prosecution. You're not free from personal consequences. But I say, you know what? I am not going to censor anyone. We've said it before. Censoring is the same as saying I can't eat steak because a baby can't eat chew. I am not going to censor you. But you can say all the dumb shit you want, but when what you say, because you're in a political or you're in a visible platform and you have a following and you're influencing people, you have to be aware that what you say directly can impact people. And then if
that's
you
what I'm
do that,
talking about. Of course, he has the right to say whatever the hell he wants. But what I'm saying is, don't talk about Sandy Hook. It's one of the worst things.
Talk about Sandy Hook.
Dude, it's one of the worst things ever,
if he
bro.
wanted to say it was a fucking hoax and that it was a government setup, that's fine. But you can't accuse the parents of it of being staged actors, because now you're actually targeting people.
Yeah, I mean, whatever. I mean, either way, I mean, the dude is filed for bankruptcy because what he said, he obviously it's impacting the parents' lives. I mean, the article talks about how, they're getting death threats and all that kind of stuff or whatever because they believe.
Did you just mute?
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, I did just mute accidentally. Yeah, no, these what I was saying was,
if you like that him being muted, please hit the like button.
The whole thing, the parents getting the death threats, because they're believing whatever was said, whatever Alex Jones said. Dude's filing for bankruptcy, and there's gonna be a lot of people that are excited to hear that. A lot of people hate Alex Jones. You know what I mean? But to your point, what you were just talking about is like, you get people to love you or hate you, and that's how you build, something.
You can make a lot of money being hated. You just have to stay hated and not cross a certain line.
And with that, guys, thank you all for being here for episode 21 of the Stocky and Alex Show. Stocky's Random Rant. I actually like this one. Big,
all
huge,
right, I'm going to say something.
Bro.
Listen, Everyone thinks they're better than everyone else, and everyone likes to shit on people. Some people like to shit on people because they're vegans, or because they're not vegan, or because they're a purist, right? Like, oh, you don't drink real beer, you drink water, piss water, because you know I have craft brew that's 9% with more hops, or you know I'm better than you because I'm a vegetarian. Well, actually, I'm a pescatarian, but it's the same thing because fish don't have feelings. People are always going to do that, and then everyone who shits on other people feels like they are not doing anything wrong. But let me tell you something. There is a group of people out there. I would call it niche, but it's not really niche anymore. I think everybody wants to be like cool, or like we were talking about with hating people. Everyone wants to feel something. Who feel like they're a purist when it comes to something that I didn't realize there was a group out there. No, I'm not talking about you dweebs, okay? I'm talking about you fucking international watching video movie people, okay? The one who use, I'm not talking about just Kung Fu. I'm talking about anything. Huh? I'm in the middle of my rant. Get out of here. Show your tits and get out. All right, back to what I was saying. Oh, she did. Wow. All right. So what I was saying is,
in the house with the in-laws.
I don't care. They can't speak English. All right, get back to my rant. All right, listen, you fucking purists who watch your goddamn international and kung fu movies and what like that. Listen, if somebody wants to watch it dubbed instead of on subtitles, that doesn't make them lesser of a person. That doesn't make them, oh, you don't know, you didn't get the real experience because you listened to it dubbed. Oh my God, that's so what a waste. I can't believe you watched the whole show. I'll give you an example. Squid Games came out, right? The baby, I had the baby with me, and she was only a few months old. She couldn't sit up or stand yet, but I had her in a bidet. And every night my wife would go to bed, and I would push her in the little, not the bidet. Oh my God, I said bidet.
It's living in your mind. It is.
She was in the bassinet, and I was
day.
pushing the bassinet at night while putting her to sleep so my wife could get some sleep, and then I would keep the baby for an hour and a half so my wife could knock out, and the baby would knock out, and I put her in. So I needed something to watch. So I watched Squid Games. But you know something? I couldn't sit there and read the fucking subtitles because I was watching a baby and I had to do this stuff. So I was, glancing back and forth as a good parent would be, so I can't read subtitles. So I listened to it dubbed, right? I watched it dubbed. And sure, maybe I missed out on exactly some of the expressions or like that, but I'd rather miss out on a little bit of that than miss out on the entire fucking thing because I'm not reading it and having to go back and watch it and getting bored with it. Let me tell you something. If people want to watch it dubbed, let them fucking do it, okay? Let them live their goddamn lives, all right? You are not a moral authority. You are not a movie authority. You're not fucking Roger Ebert. Nobody gives a shit about you. If anything, people hate you for being that way, okay? I hate you for being that. No, I'm not fucking done yet, okay? And that goes for kung fu movies. That goes for anything. Yes, I would prefer to watch something subtitled, okay? Because then I can get the emotion and I can read it, okay? But I can't always do it, and it doesn't mean that I didn't get the experience, okay? All right? That's what it is. Let me tell you something, okay? You jerk off into a fucking sock and cry yourself to sleep on a goddamn waifu pillow every night. I bang a fucking hot Indian chick, all right? Different experiences for different people, all right? Thank you.
So I agree with you. I like most of your rants, I'm like right there with you. However, you said something there at the end where it's like, let them do this or not. You're not being let to do, you're not being allowed to do what you want. If you're going to watch an international movie dubbed and then someone's going to say, oh, that's not the real way. You know what the easiest thing to do is? Just ignore them and pretend they don't exist and just say, that's just a sad person. Like you know how boring they would be at parties, that person?
Yeah, I say the same thing about fucking vegans and CrossFitters, but they still don't shut up.
Who cares what people are saying, man?
I don't care what they say. I just don't want to hear it.
Okay, well then just don't listen. Just filter them out.
I didn't say it hurts my feelings and I go home and fucking get sad and think about my goddamn life and where everything I did wrong led me to this moment where I'm fucking balding, screaming into a goddamn microphone on a podcast that nobody fucking watches after a goddamn stream that I do all goddamn day, making all this money only to buy fucking Netflix, thinking it's the bottom and it's not bottom, giving up all my goddamn money. Now I have to go into the fucking living room and entertain my in-laws and my wife and take care of the dog and the baby and then do more work and then fucking take a walk, come back, get to bed at 1 a.m., get up at 5 a.m. to do the goddamn shit all over again before I have a fucking aneurysm and die on my stream. But that's okay because I made a little bit of money so that my family can be good when I leave. Because you know something? You die twice. The day that you actually die and the day the last person remembers your name. And you know something? I've lived into a point where, you know what? I don't even care anymore because once I'm dead, I'm fucking dead. And when I'm dead, that's fine. I get to end the rat race. And you know what? Someone else can live on with whatever the fuck I left them and think of me in a good way, a bad way. I don't care. Why do you care about your legacy? legacy. You're fucking dead.
And there it goes. Did we almost win an entire episode without him blacking out one time? It showed up.
I actually stopped before I kept going.
It
because
revealed
I was about
itself in the random rant. We're 3 minutes over the hour. Stocky, that's the longest you went without it. We almost went an entire episode without you blacking out. That would have been a really sad episode. Last segment of the show, guys, and then we'll get you on out of here. The Stocky on
No,
Red.
I'm not telling you the one from last week. No, we're not going over that.
We have to, bro.
No. I don't even know where it is.
On Red, Stocky read a message. That was his latest date or earliest dated text message that he hadn't read. It was literally still unread. So Stocky on Red.
I can't do this. I don't know if I can.
Stocky on Red. We gave you guys a big cliffhanger. We gave them a big cliffhanger last week. You know, they were saying, you were saying, oh my God, this is insane. I can't say this one. This is wild. This one though, bro, I'm with you if you don't want to say it, but it's nutty. It's nutty. Stocky on Red. So it's most likely going to be a 2018 text message. Is that where we are right now? It's 2018.
I clicked on it, so it's no longer unread.
Yeah, and you don't know where it is now.
That's probably a good thing.
Yep, let's just go to the last one then. And we'll see how pissed some people are in the comments. Maybe that one will have to resurface. We just go to the next one though.
I'm stun locked right now.
At this point, Stocky's stalling. At this point, he's just stalling. So we're either going to get the elusive Stocky unread message, or we're going to get whatever the next one was. Probably another one of those work ones. But again, Stocky has over 500 missed texts dating back to it was originally 2017, I think. Now I think we're into 2018 is where we're into.
I don't even know where it is.
That's fine. Just go to your next one.
Okay, let me tell everybody since the thing is there. Okay, so there was a time.
Oh, are you gonna do the one?
No, maybe I shouldn't.
He says that the preface to that was gonna be there was a time. There was a different Stocky doing different things all together, living a life. A nice, shady, underground lifestyle. What do you got? What is that? Is this another one, or is this a new? Is this the one from before? Yeah, Stocky's stalling at this point.
I'm not stalling. This is something that I didn't see. So apparently, 2 months before my father passed away, he made a group chat with a bunch of people I'd never heard of and added me to it. And he sent a picture of him weird, and somebody was joking, and the logo, it looks like you had fun. How did you do it? Ancient Chinese, who the hell are all these people? Please lead me to this. And then somebody texted Bennett, which was my dad's name. Are you still there? A week after he died.
Oh. Bro, I'm sorry we're having to go down that lane. We're having to go down that memory lane.
It's fine, but wow,
that's rough, bro.
I didn't even know I was in this chat. I guess I just saw it back in the day and didn't get in it. But it was my dad, and it was probably one of the last messages he sent before he took his life. Wow,
that's very sad, man. I'm sorry we had to go down that memory lane.
No, don't be sorry.
Stocky unread.
I just didn't know it was a group message here. It just said the last message was saying, Bennett, are you out there? And that's just, wow, that's interesting. But okay. All right.
Episode 21. That was episode 21 of the Stocky and Alex Show.
Episode 21. No sex robots, no pegging. Titanic going down, and moms, I guess, made an appearance at a blackout. Now Alex feels like an asshole, even though he didn't do anything wrong.
I don't feel like an asshole. Why would I feel
You're
like
just
an
sitting
asshole?
there like, fuck, this is fucking.
No, I'm about to read the outro.
Oh, dude, what is that? Is that an AirPod charger?
AirPods.
Yeah, I have AirPods too, and I keep losing them.
Yeah, I bought this 3 years ago. The left one doesn't work anymore, and the right one, the only thing that works is the speaker on the inside, not the.
So why don't you just buy a new one? Is coffee sales that bad these days?
I like these ones, man. I got an emotional.
You're underpaying influencers. You should have some extra cash.
Guys, this was episode 21 of the Stocky and Alex Show, the podcast that covers topics around the world: business, news, markets, money, sports. When people talk about it, Stocky and I talk about it. You guys can listen about it on YouTube and Spotify. Guys, follow the show on all the socials. Everybody, thank you all for being here. We'll get you on out of here. Enjoy the rest of your week. Stocky, any final words?
Netflix, I need 270. You're at 259.30 right now. I need 270 by tomorrow. I got $20,000 in this. If my wife finds out that I am so fucked.
One love.
Oh wait, she listens to this. Oh shit.
See you next week.